Alina Svitolina has backed Wimbledon's ban on Russians amid reports that it would be dropped for 2023. Ukrainian tennis pro Alina Svitolina has told Wimbledon that banning Russian players again would be the right decision. It comes after the Daily Mail reported that the All England club had already opted to drop the ban this year, while Wimbledon says it is yet to make a decision. But Svitolina did name 3 of her Russian colleagues who didn't deserve criticism because of their decision to condemn the war. Svitolina has remained vocal about the Ukraine war in the tennis world over the last year despite taking time away from the tour to give birth. And the former world number 3 has now spoken out amid reports that Wimbledon has already decided to allow Russian and Belarusian players to compete this year, something the AELTC has not confirmed. It's not supposed to be like this in my opinion. What Wimbledon did last year, banning players from Russia and Belarus, was the right decision, the 28-year-old told the Daily Mail. If that has been changed this year, it's very sad because the war is still terrible. The Russian army is still killing a lot of innocent people. It is not fair play. The 16-time title winner went on to explain how difficult it was to share a locker room with her Russian colleagues who had failed to condemn the war, something the Ukrainian pros didn't think was fair. She continued, "The war has brought the Ukrainian players closer. And we are all agreed that this is not fair for us that those from Russia and Belarus, just carry on." Other sports, Olympic sports, are not allowing Russian athletes to compete. It's pretty much only tennis that is allowing them in, and I don't know why it is like this. Svitolina added, "Mentally it is very tough knowing that maybe there are some players with you in the locker room who are supporting the war. As most of them have not come out with a clear statement, you never know what they are really thinking." But the former world number 3 did name 3 Russian pros she believed did not deserve to be shunned. ATP world number 7 Andrei Rublev as well as her WTA colleagues Daria Kasatkina and Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. Rublev has continued to call for peace and no war, also appearing in a YouTube video with Kasatkina last summer where they disagreed with the war. And Svitolina didn't want people to forget the impact of the Ukraine war more than a year since it started, as she recalled a recent visit to her home of Odessa, where her grandmother still lives. "It's difficult for my grandmother to ever go out because the lift does not work where she lives. This is what it's like. Odessa is a lovely place where people used to go on holiday. It is a very chilled vibe normally, but now it is very sad," she explained. "There are a lot of military on the streets and 95% of the place is without lights. Only sometimes there is heat, and it was incredibly difficult for people at the height of the winter when it has been -5 or -10. The war had also taken a toll on the tennis facilities in Ukraine, with one of the country's most high-profile athletes claiming that it had set tennis back 10 years in her home nation. "I think there is only one place where I used to train still working. The place where I trained the most had its roof blown off by a missile," she revealed. "Our sport has been set back at least 10 years. Our athletes can't train properly, and there are 150 athletes who have been killed fighting on the front line. It's obvious that it is not fair conditions."